Welcome to the Feast, where the focus is supporting students, families, and teachers with the teaching and learning process through critical thinking. My name is Nasira Waters, and I've worked in the education system for over 2 decades as an English teacher, literacy coach, and mentor. Today we're going to focus on found poems, where students are going to analyze the theme of content which I introduced last week through the TED Talk, The Danger of a Single Story. So that's in last week's video, and you can go back and look at that video, and the transcript is underneath the assignment itself, and students are going to take that transcript, reread it, and then create a found poem. Now, what is a found poem? I provided a link here, the link to facinghistory.org. They provide a host of wonderful resources for families and teachers. But for our purpose, we're going to look at the page regarding found poems. And so this entire page goes through the process of what is a found poem and how to create a found poem. And I'm not going to explain all of it. I'm just going to give a quick overview because you can go back and do that at your leisure. So ultimately, found poems are words that students take from a piece of content or multiple pieces of literature, fiction or nonfiction. So they take words, phrases, or quotations and organize them in the structure of a poem, but in a meaningful way that strongly supports the theme. So when students do that, and you can scroll through and it'll give you more information, more details about this process. When students do that, they are supporting the theme of the content, in this case, the TED Talk, The Danger of a Single Story. And they're going to take those words from the transcript, which I provided in the previous episode, and I'll include that link in the description section of this video. Now, on this page, you'll find the process, as I stated previously. When it comes to theme, I have a discrepancy with the way they explain it. They explain it as if theme and message are two different concepts. And the reality is that a theme is a message or lesson about life or human nature. I'll repeat, a theme is a message or lesson about life or human nature. The way that they present it here, that is not the way that I teach it, nor is that accurate. And they also provide a video at the bottom of this page explaining the process of what a found poem is and how to create one. And in that video, they also explain theme and message as separate. And again, that is not accurate. Here's the video. A theme is a lesson or message about life or human nature. And I have a previous video that teaches that, and it teaches that in addition to explaining how theme and the central idea are two different concepts. So I'll also include that link. Outside of that, this is a great resource for organizing and creating and understanding what a found poem is. So please utilize this page and also for other resources as well. So let's go back to my model, which I took words and phrases that stood out to me, that I found interesting, and I organized it in a meaningful way that strongly supports the theme of the TED Talk. And I took these words straight from the transcript of the TED Talk. I permit students to change the tense of a word or several words, however they choose. I also permit students to change words to adjectives so that it helps students that need to create a concept that strongly supports the idea that they are trying to convey. And of course, that strongly supports the theme. So I'll read my model. Here we go. Impressionable and vulnerable in the face of a story, convinced that books' very nature had to be foreigners. Could not identify personally. Unintended consequence. Girls with skin the color of chocolate, kinky hair could not exist in literature. African books discovery. Mental shift in my perception saved me from the single story. So what I ask students to do once they complete their poem is to read it several times aloud to themselves so that they can find the rhythm of the poem. Because one of the many things that I teach students is that finding the rhythm of the poem enhances the meaning of the poem. Often when students are reading poetry, whether it's their poetry or someone else's, if they can't find the rhythm of the poem, it tends to prevent them from creating meaning. So please reinforce that, whether it's families or teachers. And if it's a student that's doing this on their own, then definitely find the rhythm of the poem by continuing to read it over and over, because you want to change your tone. You can change the rhythm of a line. You can speed the pace, slow the pace, sound more serious or more excited. It depends on what ideas are being conveyed in each sentence. As you can see here, this is one long stanza or semi-long stanza. But as a teacher, you, of course, will determine how many stanzas you require. If you find any of this beneficial, please like, subscribe, and share. And for the next video for this mini series, actually it will be the last video next week for this mini series. We will focus on Socratic discussions, which will lead back to the questions that students generated in the first video of this mini series. And so I'll provide some information about that next week. Again, if any of this was beneficial, or you know a student or teacher in middle or high school that could benefit from this, please like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to sharing with you next week. Bye-bye.